not the ones under boiling water conditions, not the poverty within our communities. We have the highest rate of suicides, of addictions, of adoptions leaving our communities, of abuses. Highest rate in all of Canada. And we still have an act that controls us, controls our people. And you call our communities First Nations. They're not First Nations. They're communities, they're reserves. They belong, the people belong to a nation. They are not First Nations. And those communities are managed by the government. They're controlled. What does this mean for Canada now? It means nothing less than a full engagement and how to move forward with adoption and implementation done in full partnership with First Nations, the Métis Nations, and the Inuit Nations peoples. It will also include Canada's provinces and territories whose cooperation and support is essential in this work. Canada has already begun making real the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Our government believes that a nation-to-nation and Inuit-Crown relationship with Indigenous peoples means partnerships on the world stage. Let's be honest here. Implementing the UNDRIP should not be scary. This is according to Minister Bennett. It should not be scary. Friends, this is an exciting time. This conversation has begun. From coast to coast to coast, Canadians are embarking on a journey of reconciliation. The calls to action for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission have helped shed light on a dark chapter of Canada's history of colonization and residential schools, and on the impact of this sad legacy. We believe the calls to action have also informed the path forward. What is needed is fundamental change. It's about righting historical wrongs. It's about shedding our colonial past. It's about writing the next chapter together as partners. I firmly believe that once you know the truth, you cannot unknow the truth. That's what she said. We now know the truth. We know the reality of our shared reality with Indigenous peoples in Canada. We now need all Canadians to embark on the journey of reconciliation. Chief Ray Jones told us in a phrase, the canoe must be uprighted. With our commitment to full adoption of and implementation of the Declaration today, we are continuing a vital work of reconciliation and working to upright that canoe. And may I share a quote from Charmaine Whiteface. Her question was from one of her books, will the human rights of Indigenous peoples ever be upheld? Yes, but not by words or paper. When a system such as the one that dominates the globe today is allowed to run rampant over human beings, over natural resources, and over virtually every piece of matter on earth, and that system is destined to fall, and eventually will fall. The time left for this current system, which includes North America, is very, very short. Cause and effect is the natural law that will prevail. And I'm going to stop reading now. I'm going to share with you this wampum belt. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this belt, but this came from our brothers and sisters, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, better known as the Iroquois Confederacy. When they were being invaded in their territory, they approached the colonial government and created this wampum belt, and they included all of us. This 2-row wampum belt signifies 2 rows, which one is of the colonizer and the other is the indigenous peoples. We are in our canoe and the colonizers are in their boat. And by the creation of this wampum belt, they said, we will never cross paths. We will respect your lifestyle as long as you respect our lifestyle. Don't cross up, into our canoe path, and we will not cross into your ship path. But as we know throughout the past, that this canoe had crossed paths with the ship. Now here we are today, still battling. Trying to stay in our canoes. And as one of my brothers said, Lonateo, he said, you cannot put one foot in a canoe and try to put the other foot on top of the ships. It's impossible. So we struggle today in keeping the identity of our peoples, because as I mentioned before, of the high cases of abuses that occur within our communities. And by pushing forward and agreeing to this proposed pipeline will only create more destruction within our homeland, within our peoples. Jobs is not going to cure our people. This pipeline's not going to solve our people's woes. We need access to our own lands again, our non-ceded lands that we've never surrendered. We have to be secure within our food. We have to grow our own food again. We have to protect our waters. We have to guarantee a future for our children. As we always say, the next 7 generations, generations, we always think ahead. As you see in your package, there was a document. It's entitled, I think, 1721. When the Wabanaki leaders sent a letter to the Massachusetts Governor Shutt, signing it with their signatories. And if you go down and you see all the signatories, they put their symbol of their totems, of their clans there. And they're asking to stop moving into their lands, stop invading their territories. We've never gave up our lands. We want to live in peace. That was the reasoning here. Still today, we don't live in peace. And may I remind you of what's going on at Standing Rock. You have thousands of indigenous people there trying to preserve their sacred lands and their waters. This could be your next Standing Rock. Is this the legacy that the Senate and this government and these corporations want to live with? These people are protecting their land, their sacred lands. They bulldozed over their sacred sites, their burial sites. This will occur here. All these things will occur here. This pipeline is proposed to go over, I believe, 200 and some waterways just in New Brunswick. You may have the safest regulations out there, but anything man-made will fail. Anything. That's why our laws that we follow are natural laws. Natural laws from the great mysteries. Our connection to spirit, to the identity of our people. That's what we follow. You are on, right now, sitting on our sacred land. This is not St. John. This ain't New Brunswick. Wolastoq Grand Council. This is our sacred lands. So I urge you, Senate, that please don't make this just a formality. That you listen, you have a token native leader come and spill his guts out, and I'm not here begging you. I'm here discussing with you. This ain't consultation. This is discussion. I want to make sure of that. This ain't a form of consultation. This nation-to-nation building should start here. This nation-to-nation building. In discussion, not consultation. I've included within the package our water treaty from our nation. I'm not going to read it. I'll let you take your time and read it that. And we also, our Grand Council developed this water treaty. In fact, this water treaty was read here at Redhead with the members, because the members from Redhead are on our sacred lands, and we said we will help you protect the water, because and also we have a Wolastoq Declaration of the Rights to Mother Earth. We developed a document a year ago that we presented as in a press release, and you can read that on your own. But we are very serious about this. We look at the land and Mother Earth as a living being. We look at everything that's on her and around her as living. So I want to thank you for your time, and you will also see, one more thing, you will also see the place names that are listed. There are 62, and there's more. 62 place names of rivers, tributaries, and sacred lands in our people. And you can see that they all mean something. These words are verbs. They're alive. And also below that, from the place names, you'll see the Wabanagi Wampum. Our wampum belt that was designed, that represents the four first Wabanaki nations. And the important terms relating to our nation: the Great Peace Treaty, kinship, confederacy, customs, and so on. And this is our watershed. This is our territory. And that's where the proposed pipeline is supposed to be going. All through our territory, except for maybe a small part that crosses the Mi'kmaq. So who will be the people who will have to face destruction when there's spills, not if. When the woods are all cut because of the pipeline, the animals will lose their home, the fish, the amphibians. Who will suffer? This is where we were born. We can't move. We can't move nowhere. This is where our bloodline. That's why in that flag, the bottom is red. This is our ancestors' blood. All the rest of you can move. Because your original home is not here. We are from here. Wolastoq Grand Council. I want to thank you for taking time. I know it's just a little unconventional presentation because it is, I think it was very important for you to know who we are as the Wolastoq Grand Council. Thank you.